Why does managing web services efficiently stand as a cornerstone for any tech-driven business today? In the digital age, where every transaction, interaction, and operation increasingly depends on web technologies, the management of web services isn't just routine, it's critical. Efficient web service management ensures that services are not only available but also robust and secure. This is pivotal in maintaining operational stability, which in turn supports business continuity and reliability. Imagine the chaos when web services falter. Slow response times, server downtimes, and even worse, security breaches can tarnish a business's reputation overnight. These are not mere inconveniences but significant disruptions that can lead to loss of revenue and trust, a high price for any business. Enter Internet Information Services, or IIS, Microsoft's flexible and manageable web server used to host and manage web applications on Windows servers. IIS stands out for its comprehensive capabilities in deploying, managing, and securing web applications. Mastering IIS can significantly elevate your ability to deliver seamless and secure online services. How do you start with IIS? Let's dive into the installation and initial configuration. Installing the Internet Information Services, or IIS, on a Windows server is a straightforward process. Begin by opening the Server Manager. From here, you'll navigate to the Manage menu and select Add Roles and Features. This action launches a wizard which guides you through the process. Choose the role-based or feature-based installation option and proceed to select the server on which you want to install IIS. As you move through the wizard, you'll come across a list of roles. Check the box next to Web Server, IIS. The wizard might prompt you to include additional features necessary for IIS to function optimally. It's wise to accept these suggestions. After confirming your selections, click Install. This initiates the installation process, which could take a few minutes depending on your system's specifications. Alternatively, if you're comfortable with command line tools, you can install IIS using PowerShell. Open a PowerShell prompt as an administrator and type the command install Windows feature name web server. This command performs the same action as the wizard, but is often faster and can be automated in scripts for multiple installations. Once IIS is installed, the next step is basic configuration. Launch the IIS Manager from the Start menu. Here you can set up default website properties. Begin by selecting the default website from the Connections panel. Here you can configure various aspects such as the physical path where the website's files are stored, or the bindings which include the IP address, port, and hostname information necessary for accessing the website. Authentication methods are also crucial. In the IIS Manager, you can access the authentication feature under the IIS section. Here you can enable or disable various authentication schemes like anonymous, basic, or Windows authentication depending on your security requirements. With each setting adjusted, you ensure your server not only runs, but is tailored to meet the specific needs of your environment. With IIS installed and configured, you're now set to deploy websites and applications efficiently. Now, how do we get your websites and applications up and running on IIS? Deploying websites and applications on IIS involves a few critical steps, which start with the creation of new websites using the IIS Manager. The process begins by selecting the option to create a new website within the IIS Manager interface. Here, you'll need to specify several important properties. The first is the physical path, which is the directory on your server where the website's files are stored. This could be anywhere from a dedicated folder within your server's file system to a shared network location. Next, you'll need to configure the application pool for your website. Application pools are powerful features in IIS that allow you to isolate your applications for better security, performance, and reliability. Each application pool acts as a separate worker process on the server. You can specify the Net framework version, manage pipeline mode, and set conditions for recycling the application pool, which helps in freeing up resources and maintaining performance. Furthermore, you must set the host name, which is the domain name that users will type into their browsers to access your site. This is also where you configure bindings that include the IP address and port, making sure your website is reachable and responsive to user requests. Once the website is configured, deploying applications is the next step. This involves copying or publishing your web application files to the appropriate directory that you've set as your physical path. It's crucial to ensure that the correct permissions are granted to the directory and files. These permissions allow the application pool identity, which runs the process executing the web application, to access and interact with the files without hitches. After setting up your website and deploying your applications, you might feel like taking a breather. However, there's more to do to ensure everything operates seamlessly. Your applications are now live, but how do we ensure they run smoothly? Let's find out. Deploying your web service is just the beginning. How do you keep it running optimally? Monitoring and managing the performance of your Internet Information Services, or IIS, is crucial in ensuring that your web services are not just functioning, but excelling. To achieve this, several tools and features are at your disposal. Firstly, the IIS Manager is an invaluable tool. It allows you to oversee real-time operations and make adjustments as needed. It provides access to critical performance metrics such as CPU usage, memory usage, and request processing times. This immediate feedback can be instrumental in identifying bottlenecks or potential areas of improvement in your web service. Moving on, the Performance Monitor, or perfmon, is another essential utility. This tool extends beyond IIS, offering insights into the overall health of your Windows server. It tracks various system metrics including network activity, disk usage, and more, all of which can impact your iOS performance. Customizing the Performance Monitor with specific counters for IIS can help you dive deeper into understanding how your server handles requests and manages resources. Then there's the Windows Event Viewer. This feature logs every significant event on your server, from routine operations to critical errors. For IIS, this means any server restarts, application errors, or security issues are recorded. Analyzing these logs can help pinpoint unexpected behaviors or failures, making it a vital component for any troubleshooting efforts. Now, let's talk about logging and tracing within IIS itself. Configuring logging settings to capture detailed information about website activity, user requests, and server responses is crucial for analyzing traffic patterns and identifying problematic areas. This data is instrumental when you need to troubleshoot issues or optimize performance. Furthermore, health monitoring and automatic recycling of application pools are pivotal features. These ensure that your applications remain healthy and responsive. If any service becomes unresponsive or starts to degrade, IIS can automatically recycle it, helping to minimize downtime and maintain service continuity. With robust monitoring and management, your web services remain efficient and reliable. Security isn't just a feature, it's a necessity. How do you secure web services in IIS? Let's begin with authentication and authorization. Internet Information Services offers a variety of authentication methods, including Windows authentication, which leverages the user's network credentials, and Forms authentication, where users log in with a username and password managed by the application. Each method serves different security needs, so selecting the right one is crucial. Moreover, setting up authorization rules allows you to define who has access to what resources, ensuring that users can only access the information they are permitted to. Moving on to SSL and TLS. These are protocols that provide secure communications over a computer network. In IIS, implementing SSL or TLS involves creating or importing a certificate and binding it to your website. This process encrypts the data exchange between the server and client, safeguarding against eavesdropping and tampering. Lastly, let's talk about request filtering and IP restrictions. Request filtering allows you to block specific HTTP requests, which can prevent attacks such as SQL injection or cross-site scripting. By configuring IP restrictions, you can control access to your server more tightly, allowing only trusted IP addresses or ranges. This is particularly useful in environments where you can predict or control who should access your server. With these security measures, your IIS server is not just operational, but also secure from various threats. What happens when things go wrong or when demand spikes? In the world of web services, being prepared isn't just an option, it's a necessity. Let's dive into how you can safeguard your services with robust backup strategies, efficient disaster recovery plans, and scalable solutions. Starting with backups, regular backups of your iOS configuration settings and web content are fundamental. This means saving not just your website files, but also application pool settings and SSL certificates. Tools like the IIS Manager and PowerShell scripts can automate this process, ensuring you always have a recent snapshot of your server's configuration. Imagine this as taking a detailed photograph of your setup, ready to be restored at a moment's notice. Moving on to disaster recovery, it's crucial to have a clear and tested plan in place. This plan should outline the steps to restore services quickly and efficiently after a disruption, whether it's due to hardware failure, data corruption, or other catastrophes. It's like having a detailed map that guides you back to normal operations, minimizing downtime and its associated costs. Lastly, let's talk about scaling. When web traffic increases, your infrastructure must be ready to handle the load. Scaling out your web services by adding more servers and implementing load balancers can distribute the traffic evenly. This not only enhances performance but also improves overall service reliability. Think of it as expanding the lanes on a highway. More lanes mean less congestion and faster travel times for everyone. Preparedness and scalability are your best allies in managing web services effectively. By embracing these strategies, you ensure that your web services can withstand challenges and adapt to growing demands seamlessly.